Welcome to 9 Bob Note with Paul Isles-Rush and Ken Moss.
Hello everybody and welcome to 9 Bob Note. I am Paul.
And I'm Ken.
What have we got in store for this episode?
More simple pleasures. Yes, as we did last time when we did Room 101, we followed it up with things that actually bring pleasure to our life. And this time is no different, so we have another 6 picks for you.
Lovely. A little bit more positivity after the last.
Yeah, we need that. I'm going to kick it off with a small but fairly obvious one. Gin. For those who don't know, I also do a gin review podcast with a good mate of mine. We've done well over 1,000 gins now over the past 20 years. And we just love sampling them all. But it's also my drink of choice in the evenings. And it's just one of those little things that I don't sit there getting K-lied every night, but it's just something I really enjoy. And every time I see something new, it's nice to try it and see whether I like it or detest it or whether it's just meh. But it's just nice as a home drink, because I have different drinks for various times. So I'll have, with dinner, it'll always be a bottle of wine. And in the evenings, it's gin. And when I go up to the pub, it's ale. I know people are the one drink and that's the end of that, but you've got a bit of a variation in the theme, haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much the same. If we're at home having a drink, it'll be wine or gin, or possibly wine then gin.
Of course, obviously.
If we're out for a meal, then we'll have we usually get a bottle of wine. But if we're out at the pub, then it will just be beer. But yeah, I like to pour a nice gin and try, and like you say, try new ones. Yeah, a very good.
And again, another honourable mention for your mother, who is the person who introduced me to it all those years ago. It was at Rose Dean, out of the drinks cabinet. The very first one. It was just Gordon's. Yeah. Gordon's on a slice.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things, gin, that it became quite cool in recent years to drink gin. But it's kind of nice because when people say, oh, yeah, look at these hipsters drinking gin, and you're like, no, honey.
I was there the first time around.
Yeah. So, yeah, a very nice choice.
What are you starting us off with?
Well, I'll be accompanying your gin with Good Grub.
Oh, splendid.
And what I mean is, it's almost like a simple yet guilty pleasure. You know, sometimes when I don't do a lot of the cooking at home, Stuart is a very good cook and he cooks lots of different things. And it's always something nice that we're having for dinner. But sometimes when I ask him what are we having for dinner and he says something like chicken Kiev chips and beans, like out of the freezer, I think, yes.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Entirely.
Yeah. So it's not, we're not talking about fine dining, but just like hearty food, a good old casserole and stuff like that, especially at this time of year, although I don't know whether it's going to be summer by the time this episode goes out. But we're in the autumn months now. And just, like warming, hearty, good food. It just makes you feel good.
It does. There's nothing like getting your trotters in the trough, particularly on a cold day.
Yeah.
I'll champion the roast dinner again. It's a very simple meal, but I make one every week for the fam. And I always overcook. Whatever I cook, there's always more of it than there needs to be, but there's always less of it left than there should be. Everybody's always very keen to have seconds. I'm quite a passable cook. I will champion Dawn as the main provider in that respect. She works from home every day. She loves cooking. She's very good at it. I call her NTSC, never twice the same cooking, because whatever meal she's made, it won't taste the same the next day. She'll just hurl stuff in. Yeah. And it always just works. But I'm with you. We've been having this conversation recently. That's something like beans on toast. Yeah. Or a jacket spud with cheese and tuna and lashings of butter and salt. Good grub, yeah, or a fry up, or sausage butties on baker's buns, and hearty grub.
Yes.
Well, my second choice, it narrowly missed the grade last time around, but I am going to put it in because it just makes up a daily staple. crosswords.
Oh, okay.
I love the cryptic crossword in the morning. It's just a little bit of mental arithmetic to get the engine started. I have 2 10-minute bus rides in a day. And there's a free paper called The Metro.
Yes.
And they do an excellent cryptic crossword. And it's just a little bit of brain gymnastics. I like to keep the mind supple. It's not terribly difficult, but not everybody gets cryptic crosswords. I think you have to bend your mind a certain way. And if you're not, it can, what the hell are you going on about? You know, throw your weight around in North London. Islington, Islington. What the hell? What is all this?
Wow, yeah.
So yeah, I love the cryptic crossword, and it's just something I get lots of funny looks on the bus because I get out as soon as I sit down, pick up the paper, get out my pen, and start doing the crossword. And it's just not something people do anymore. But bollocks to it, I enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't do the cryptic crossword. I do have an app on my phone which is called Puzzle Page, and it replicates a newspaper's puzzle page every day. So there's like 9 or 10 different puzzles, and that's what I do in the morning when I get up, make a cup of tea before anyone else has got up, and sit and do the puzzles. But yeah, it does. It gets your brain stretched a bit, doesn't it? And it's
that's another simple pleasure. Before everyone else is on. Yeah. Much as we love our families, there's just something about that sort of 6 o'clock-ish time when the house is quiet.
Yes.
We all need a little bit of me time.
Yes.
What's your second choice?
My second choice is spontaneous days.
I thought you were going to say combustion.
Spontaneous combustion.
Oh, lovely.
It's quite a broad-reaching one, but you know those days where, and they don't come around very often because, I mean, we're both very busy and we have loads on, and obviously there's family stuff and all different kinds of things, but those days where you don't have anything planned, and sometimes it's nice to have nothing planned and to do nothing, but also those days where you think, wow, we've got a day when we haven't got anything planned. Let's do something. And it's either, you know, like maybe go for a walk or even just walk around the corner to the pub or go on a bike ride or watch a film that we wanted to watch. And sometimes it's just the two of us. Sometimes it's the family. Sometimes it's, you know, well, why don't you ring Ken and see what he's doing? And then you get to the end of the day and you think, wow, that was a really good day. And you had nothing planned, but just nice to do something a bit different, but without it taking weeks of planning and coordination.
Funnily enough, you and Stu are my benchmark for spontaneity because Dawn and I, we have just this mental life. Everything's full all the time. Every weekend is full. Last weekend, you asked us to come and meet you for drinks.
Yes.
You were free range at 3 o'clock or whenever it was. Did you fancy coming to meet us in the pub? No, it turns out we had something on in the evening. So we couldn't just come to the pub and get comfortable because we had to be. And I detest it. I really, really hate going anywhere where there's a time limit.
Yeah.
So we were never going to say no, but it annoyed me we had to leave for whatever pleasant reason it was. But I said to her afterwards, I said, you know, it would have just been lovely to get our boots on and saunter down to the pub, walk to Lostercourt rather than drive and enjoy the sunny afternoon, a nice crisp autumn afternoon, and have a few pints of drinks and not worry about it, and then have a nice saunter back, maybe pick up a Chinese or a curry or something on the way home, and just not. I live for days where there's nothing in the diary.
Yeah.
They're extremely rare, and I have actively now started saying that weekend, let's not do anything. They always get filled up, but let's not have anything in the diary and see what happens.
Yeah.
And the other week, we had a Saturday, we didn't get dressed. And it was marvellous. And both of us had that sort of guilty feeling that we really should have done something with today. And I said, well, we have done something with today. We've rested.
Yeah.
We had a nap in the afternoon. We both badly, badly needed a day of rest because we're both, and you seem like the same. Come on, we should do something rather than, why should you do something? Why, if you really need to just DOS for a day, why not?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I am fully with you on that, spontaneous days. But, of course, you can't plan a spontaneous day, otherwise it's not exactly spontaneous. Well, my final choice, driving a car.
Oh.
I've had terrible luck with cars and vehicles over the years. I just, through no fault of my own, I've just ended up with a series of lemons. But my last car to die, it was off the road for 6 weeks while the dealer went through it and tried to find out what was wrong with it and then came back with a terminal diagnosis anyway. But I spent 6 weeks getting public transport to and from. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Apart from the fact that everybody that gets public transport is a word has yet to be invented. It's the inconvenience. The one positive of getting public transport is that I walked a lot more and it helped keep the weight down. So positive. That's where it ends. It's inconvenient. Things are cancelled all the time. They're full with other people that you don't want to mix with or sit anywhere near, that just sat there in a cloud of vapour. Oh, they're horrible. And the first few days were absolutely, I was climbing the walls without a car. And things like going to the quiz, I was then reliant on Dawn to take me to and from the quiz. So that's ruptured her night as well.
Yeah.
So somebody else is impacted by the fact that I can't. And so to get back behind the wheel and have my own car, I will never, I mean, I've never taken it for granted anyway, but I never, ever will look at driving the same way again. It's just so convenient. It is an expensive hobby. But if you boil it down, when you factor in fuel, MOT, tax and whatever for servicing, depending on how far you're driving, it works out about 5 or 10 quid a day to own a car. But you can go anywhere, anytime, when you choose. And the convenience is worth the cost.
Yes, absolutely. Drive on.
Your final choice?
My final choice possibly flies against some of my other choices is nights away.
Oh, right, yes.
And this is probably going to sound really selfish. And it kind of links to what you were just saying about getting up first thing in the morning and being in the house on your own and just having that space. I go away with work quite regularly, probably about at least once a month, I would say, and have a night away somewhere else. And I almost always go on my own. Sometimes with other people from work there. And then we end up having to be forced to socialise in the evenings. But I really enjoy it. So I'll go to the office and then I'll go finish work and go and check into a hotel. Usually not a great hotel, but, whatever. And then just sort of having that time and I can sit on the bed and read, or I can watch stuff on the TV or watch a film that I've not, that maybe Stuart isn't into, so I don't want to. Or I can just go to bed really early, and it's just nice. It's also nice when Stuart is there as well, because we don't have to get up in the morning to feed the dogs or to make sure the kids are okay. But just that sort of being away from the routine is just kind of nice. I wouldn't like to do it all the time, but every now and again it's just nice.
I heartily agree. Dawn books us a weekend away or a night away about once a month.
Yes.
And she'll just pick somewhere and I'll come home and she'll say, what are we doing this day? Right, we're going away that night. We're going to a spa hotel somewhere. And I always drive and she sorts out everything else. And it's just lovely. And it's just that getting away, locking ourselves in a hotel room, we cannot for the life of us travel light. Just can't be done. There was one in particular, actually, and it was a few nights away. Now, we get bored very easily. Yeah. So we don't tend to book long holidays. The idea of a fortnight away somewhere fills us both with dread. But we went to stop in a barn conversion in Derbyshire a few months ago. It was just glorious. It was in the middle of the countryside. You could not see another building in any direction. There was nothing there. It was just lovely, glorious to get away and leave the rat race behind. And I've come to the conclusion that part of the problem, because I love being at home and I know that you love being at home.
Yes.
But you're still surrounded by everybody else. You're in your house, but within a couple of feet on either side or across the road, you've got other people. You go to the shops, other people. Your entire life is just coming to meet you at the door in every direction. You can't get away from other people. I think sometimes to get away from people and have a bit of your own time, whether it's alone or with your family, does you the power of good.
Yes.
So yes, I'm heartily with you on that.
Lovely. Well, there we go. I don't know about you. I feel very relaxed now.
Heavily refreshed.
But yes, there we go. Some more simple pleasures for us. And I'm sure we'll be revisiting this in the future. But in the meantime, we'll be back very soon with more fun and games.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
Nine Bob Note featured Paul Isles-Rush and Ken Moss. Title music was by Mark Scheiman, and the program was produced by Maverick Productions. For more information, please visit maverickproductionsuk.blogspot.com or find us on social media.